I just got back from Northern Virginia, where I had an opportunity to meet some very interesting people and get some footage. We're going to go downstairs right now into the studio and review a little bit of this documentation that we'll be putting together this year for 2012. A new documentary that I believe you're going to really enjoy. So I'd like to give it a little sneak peek. Come on down. You know, I don't really remember why, but there I was at the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, and that's really where this documentary got its start. I was led to an extraordinary discovery of a forgotten people. People estranged from the modern world. There is no way to tell their story without telling my own. And if their story is really a confession, then so is mine. We went into the patient wilderness. That closed upon us like the sea closes upon a diver. It was as though civilization had left us behind. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it. Give me a, just tell me where we're at.
We're in Vienna, Virginia. About 12 miles out of from Washington D.C. in the Potomac River. We're between the Potomac River and Dulles Airport. I guess it was sometime in the 80s that Mark came into town, rolling into town, and he was in a Volkswagen camper. And it wasn't until about 2003 when Glennie was concerned about him living out in the woods and being, you know, sort of exposed out there without even a tent. I went out there one day, I guess it was about a week before this snowstorm was coming, and I wanted to see, Glennie wanted me to check on him, so I went out there, and he was passed out on the ground with his blanket over him, and that's all he had going for himself. So I decided at that point to build something so that he could be out of the elements. About 2 days before snowstorm, and I figured that this thing would probably only last 6 months or so, maybe for the winter. And here we're going on the 8th year, and he's moved in, and that's where he's been ever since.
I wanted to find this guy. Eddie said he'd drive us out there. I really needed to see for myself how somebody could live virtually invisible right in civilization, right in the middle of a highway cloverleaf. Part of me was afraid of what I'd find and what I'd do when I got there.
We're in the little town of Vienna right now. We're over here, just outside of D.C. Here's the Potomac River, there's Washington. And you have Route 66 that goes out west.
That's not Route 66 from the old TV show.
No, but I don't know. It connects.
I mean, the same Route 66 from...
I don't know. I do not know that.
Right.
It's possible, but I don't know that.
Okay.
Anyhow, and Route 50 crosses over it right outside of Vienna, and this is where we're going.
So as we made our way through this thick wilderness, I started to kind of think of this guy not so much as a homeless man, but as a true example of an American dreamer, an individual that took it upon himself to build his own independence away from government handouts. So when we finally arrived, Mark was nowhere in sight. But I looked around, and here we are in this little encampment that happened to be right in the middle of a highway cloverleaf. I followed Eddie as he worked his way deeper into the woods. He was looking for other inhabitants of the cloverleaf, and there it was, the preeminent homeless shanty, the vagrant's villa estate. I really can't put it into words. Eddie summed it up best for the both of us, and I'll never forget those heavenly words.
Jesus Christ, are you shitting me?
I had to remind myself I was only a few miles from Washington, D.C. A journey that not only transcended the limits of distance and separation, but also transported me to my own heart of Gart.